I wonder how history, or I should say, future generations around college basketball, around women's basketball, are going to look back and how they're going to think about and judge the Hatelens, the Slows, the low IQs, and all the ridiculous things that they continue to say. And I want to break down this video for you a little bit. It's probably nothing new in terms of what we heard, but it's just wild to me that now here we are with Cailin Clark going into her third year in the WNBA with everything that she has accomplished in college with USA basketball, which, by the way, this was her second MVP. The first one was at U9 when they won the World U9, U19 when they won. She led them to winning a World Cup. You know what they're gearing up for in September for the U19 team, gold medal and MVP. She has three gold medals with that team. And of course, we know she was her rookie year for the WNBA. It's untouched. You could make an argument for Candace Parker, but then again, fans were involved in the voting. For those of you that don't know this, fans were involved in the voting for MVP with Candace Parker. Are you going to tell me that if fans were involved in the MVP voting with Cailin Clark her rookie year, that she would not have gone from 4 to 1? Come on now. So the resume speaks for itself, and yet we still have takes like this. So here we are talking about this is new AP. This is talking about the all-time greatest college basketball players, and our little boy here, Mr. Howie from Just Say, yes, calling it out, my friend, because we are going to shred this absolute gibberish, bigoted nonsense. Why? A lot of people say, "Oh, you just got to ignore." I get that, but then you know what? We've said this before. Then all people see, all the casual fans, the people discovering Caitlin Clark, discovering women's basketball, all they get about Caitlin Clark then is negative stuff if we just ignore it and don't push back. So we're going to break this down. We're going to talk about it. Hopefully, it's kind of entertaining when you listen to how absolutely ridiculous all of this is. So I'm going to break in the introduction, and then I want to get to a specific player. I'm not going to have him go through every player, so you're not going to have to listen to all 3 minutes of this, but just the important stuff.
Just say you hate basketball. This is the AP greatest women's college basketball players of all time first team. But something doesn't feel right. Now, of course, let's not get it twisted. UConn women's basketball is the greatest program ever. 11 national championships, decades of dominance. Gina Auriemma really built a machine. You want consistency? That's UConn. You want winning? That's UConn. But we're not talking about programs. We're talking about the best college players ever. And for me,
Keep that in mind. We're not talking about programs. We're talking about the best players. And then listen to what he actually says.
college greatness is simple. Can you dominate and can you finish? Because stats and accolades are cool and they are important, but championship banners matter. So the
He just already just completely contradicted himself. It's about players, not programs. And then he says, but it's not stats and accolades, it's championships. Well, the championships are the programs. And we can talk about whether certain coaches are good or bad, or how, championship teams had great players and all that. But with very rare exceptions, we all know that programs that win championships are programs who did the best recruiting job, who got the 5 stars and the 4 stars and all of that, right? It kind of goes hand in hand. So already right away, in order to discredit Caitlin Clark, we go boom right into contradicting himself. It's about players, not programs, but then it's not about the player stats and accolades. It's about championships, which is programs, not players. So I'm going to skip this part. He talks about a few players. I think Holtzclaw's in here, Cheryl Miller's in here, Candace Parker in here. So you have, all players. Tennessee, great program, right? I'm not going to argue Cheryl Miller not being a top 5. Don't get it twisted. But let me get to. We're going to move this up just a little bit because now we're going to get into talking about Breanna Stewart, because this is important, again, to what he was just saying about programs and players.
greatest college basketball players of all time. And let's not get it twisted, UConn did have some killers. Diana Taurasi with 3 straight titles, Breanna Stewart with 4 straight titles and 4 MOPs. Stewie may have the greatest college resume ever. Like, ever. But here's the uncomfortably unique part about college basketball. Things like recruiting class and the program you go to matter a great deal.
Keep that in mind. Again, this is what he's going to say is the reason Cailin Clark does not make it, but he makes it right here. The program you go to and the recruiting class matters a great deal unless you're Cailin Clark.
So as great as Stewie was at UConn, it was UConn. They were about 12 deep, and in her first year when they won the championship, she was the third leading scorer. And UConn has been so great and so dominant for so long that they're the kind of team that could still win the national title even without her. Nonetheless, she's one of the greatest college players of all time, and she did help perpetuate greatness that was there before her. And then there's Cailin Clark, all-time leading scorer, changed the game. She's how casuals discovered women's basketball, and that puts her in the conversation for most influential women's college basketball player, but she's the only one up here without a championship.
Did you catch that? Again, so many contradictions, so many fallacies, complete absence of critical thinking. This is big time low IQ stuff. I'm not sure how he functions in society if he acts like this in everything else that he does. I think there'd be a lot of failure there. It make greatest score, right? All-time leading scorer. We talk about even men's and women's. I don't think you should compare the two. They're obviously they don't play each other, but yeah, she scored more points than Pistol Pete Maravich, greatest scorer in college basketball history. But that puts her in line to be most influential. Wait, what? This is some of the dumbest tart crap I've ever heard. How are you spouting this crap out of your mouth? How do you survive on a daily basis with how does your brain is broken?
And this is a list of the greatest women's college basketball players of all time, not
You keep saying that greatest of all time, but then you've contradicted multiple times by saying how important the program is, right? You discredited Brianna Stewart because of going to UConn and talked about the program and the recruits, but now you're going and you're going to do the opposite with Cailin Clark. You're going to say she's influential but not great, even though she's the all-time leading scorer.
most impactful, not most influential. We're talking about greatness, and while winning isn't the only thing, it's definitely the most important.
But with Brianna Stewart, it wasn't. You discredited Brianna Stewart because she played at UConn and had a bunch of other great recruits. Make up your frickin' mind.
And players like Shamiqua Holdsclaw didn't just shine with stats and accolades, they finished. And of course, I'm gonna mention Maya Moore, everybody relax. But she gotta come off the bench, there's only 5 spots. And UConn might have 10 of the top 20 players ever, but the best players didn't all come from UConn. And if your GOAT women's college players first team ain't Cheryl Miller, Shamiqua Holdsclaw, Candace Parker, Brianna Stewart, and Diana Taurasi, then prove why your team is better.
You're a moron. I've already set Cailin Clark aside for a second, you absolute tard. I've already proven that everything you said is discredited because there's a complete lack of reasoning, complete lack of critical thinking, a complete lack of consistency. Just tell us you have a low IQ and you hate Cailin Clark. Let's do that. I mean, I think it was last year UConn had like what, 3 high school number ones, 9 players that were 5 stars. I think in 4 stars in 4 years, Iowa had Cailin Clark. Cailin Clark. Now, look, Iowa had success in terms of being a solid program and getting to the 20. They never ever approached the success they had with Cailin Clark before that. She stayed home. She elevated an entire program, who, by the way, has managed to capture that and benefit from that and continue that success. Talk about a legacy of greatness. Iowa didn't fall apart after Cailin Clark. They built on Cailin Clark. And yet, Cailin Clark took that team where she's the only 5-star recruit. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe they had a 4-star recruit when she was, and I'm talking about during her 2 finals runs, not when she was a freshman or sophomore. Okay. So you say it's not about programs, it's about players, but then you make it all about programs. And yet then you criticize Brianna Stewart by talking about the recruits and the programs that she played for and so forth. And then Cailin Clark, you literally say she's the all-time leading scorer, and that makes her influential, but not one of the best. I mean, all of that right here, like everything in this video just show you this is all about hating the popular white girl. That is all this is about. That is all he is doing. 100%. I will stand on that. This is an absolute clown who doesn't like Cailin Clark, period. Doesn't know anything about basketball. He's all up in his racial feels. If you take a second to listen to what he says, and this is why it's important, this is why I'm pointing this out, no critical thinking involved, right? He contradicts himself repeatedly. It all falls apart if you take 2 seconds to really listen to what he says. Logical fallacies, contradictions, incoherence. All-time leading scorer, that makes her influential, not one of the best. What the hell are you smoking, my man? What the hell are you smoking? Without the player support that these other players had that he's talking about. Okay, without that, we have got. I want to make sure I wrote these down because I want this list. Two-time NCAA All 20, two-time AP Player of the Year. Should have been three. Probably should have been four, but no, we'll go through. Four-time WBCAA, two-time Naismith Award, two-time Honda Award, 2021 USBWA um, Finalist of the Year, FOI, three-time Big Ten Player of the Year, two-time All Big Ten 2021 Big Ten Rookie of the Year, three-time NCAA All Region, four-time APAA, two-time Wooden Award, two-time Wade Trophy, two-time USBWA Player of the Year, 2021 WBCA Finalist of the Year, four-time all-time Big Ten, 2021 Big Ten, two-time Big Ten tourney. Led the nation in scoring all 4 years, increased her scoring every single year, led the Big Ten in assists her rookie year, freshman year, I believe second national, and then led the nation 3 times. So she led the nation in scoring 4 times, led the nation in assists 3 times. Most games with 30 points and 10 assists in NCAA history. Cailin Clark is number 1 with 21. Sabrina Askew, number 2 with 1. Just saying. Most assists by a player with 3,000 points in NCAA history. Cailin Clark, 1,144. Number 2 on the list. Deaisha Fair, 629. Cailin Clark basically doubled the number 2. Only player to rank top 70 in both scoring and assists in NCAA history. Only player to rank top 70 in points and assists. And by the way, number 1 in points, number 3 all time in assists. Without a doubt, no matter how you want to measure it in any way, shape, or form when talking about the player, Cailin Clark is absolutely one of the top 5 players, which is what we're talking about here, basically, the all-time college team. There is no way you can break it down. There's no way you can spin it other than, you're just an idiot, an absolute, complete, and total moron. That is the only way that you can lie, or you're stupid, or you're brainwashed, you're low IQ, you're a Hatelin, whatever it may be. But there's no way, slice, dice, break it down any way, shape, or form, that you can make the argument in good faith that Cailin Clark is not on this team. Absolutely absurd. No one should pay attention to you. You should be laughed at. You should be mocked. You should be ridiculed. You should be run out of talking about basketball. How do you really feel? But anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I needed a good rant. I thought this was a good opportunity to do that. I'm sure some of y'all are listening to him thinking, oh, you just want to explode every once in a while. It can be good for you to do that every once in a while. But smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the 19. I will talk to y'all later.